Coming up on Fulton Today, commissioners and county mayors weigh the pros and cons of a transportation tax this year. Hear what they have to say. And Fulton County schools add an important element of safety to their department. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everyone. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Fulton commissioners take another step to finalize the 2016 budget. And by state law, the spending plan must be approved by the end of the month. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has our story.
Yes, Shania, this week commissioners will once again review the 2016 budget. And once again, residents will be able to come right here to the podium and let commissioners know what they want funded. Commissioners approved a tentative 2016 budget during the last board meeting of 2015. After all the additions and cuts, the revenues for the tentative general fund budget is more than $623 million. The expenditures are $622 million, and the reserves fund balance is more than $130 million, which is well above the minimum reserves requirement. The Budget Commission also proposed options for a potential increase in the South Service District millage rate. The increase would fund certain public works and safety projects in unincorporated Fulton County. Like usual, residents will be able to speak during the public hearing portion of this week's Board of Commissioners meeting, and that's where they can give their input on the budget before it's approved by the end of January. Reporting in Assembly Hall, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Another big story this year. County commissioners and county mayors talk about the possibility of a 1-cent transportation sales tax. Just before the holiday break, the elected officials from cities within the county convened a joint meeting with a focus on transportation. Georgia lawmakers passed legislation last year that gives counties the option to pass their own sales tax for transportation. Now, voters would get to decide in November whether to approve the tax to fund projects to help ease traffic congestion.
This law provides an opportunity for as much as a $1.3 billion to be generated over the course of 5 years that will address infrastructure, roads, bridges, bike pathways, as well as transit.
Officials discussed whether MARTA should get any of the transportation funds to pay for rail expansion up Georgia 400. MARTA's CEO was also a part of the conversation. A South Fulton official was concerned about transportation equity countywide.
Tell me the project in the South that's going to be talked about that I can use as an advocate to say why we need to get behind this.
Officials suggested making a list of projects that everyone would agree on.
Everybody's trying to get to the center of town, so we have to make that easier.
Ultimately, the voters may have the last say on the issue in the November election. The fight against sexual exploitation continues here in the county. Members of Fulton's newly formed coalition of nonprofit organizations, law enforcement agencies, and health department officials met to discuss bringing an end to the awful crime.
Fulton County, Atlanta has been kind of on the forefront of the fight against human trafficking. Georgia in this area is known for having some excellent nonprofits that are really involved in this fight. And now the government of Fulton County has really moved forward and made an official stance against human trafficking.
Representatives from Georgia Cares rattled off some alarming statistics.
We also have protections because a lot of these girls are exploited over and over and over again.
Experts also say there are behavioral signs to look for in abuse victims.
Angry, aggressive, clinically depressed, fearful or anxious, withdrawn. I highlight little to no eye contact.
According to the Junior League of Georgia, over 350 young girls are sexually exploited in Georgia every month. This year, the coalition hopes to bring forth practical recommendations to help end the crime in Fulton County. A former Fulton police captain is now the new man in charge of safety for Fulton schools. Melvin Dean was sworn in as the new chief of the district's police department. Chief Dean comes with nearly 30 years combined experience with the U.S. Army Military Police and the Fulton County Police Department.
We're committed to preserving our overall safety of having developed highly trained men and women already that are here at the Fulton County Schools Police Department.
Created in 1989, more than 70 police officers work to keep students and faculty safe at more than 100 schools and auxiliary buildings. Chief Dean was the chief of staff for the retired police chief Cassandra Jones in Fulton County. He also worked closely with Fulton's current chief, Gary Stiles. A Fulton County judge swears in the newest members of the Georgia Bar.
Swear that I will truly and honestly, justly and uprightly, conduct myself as a member of this learned profession.
Superior Court Judge, the Honorable Jane C. Barwick, performed the ceremony for 95 new attorneys.
And that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Georgia. So help me God. You may put your hands down. Congratulations.
Superior Court Chief Judge Gail Tucson was also on hand to welcome the new attorneys, and representatives from several Georgia legal organizations appealed to the new attorneys to get involved. The keynote speaker, attorney Sonny Wilkins, talked about the importance of giving back. She is the legal counsel to her husband, NBA Hall of Fame legend Dominique Wilkins.
Giving back keeps you grounded. It keeps you humble, so that when you go through the lows, you go, hey, life's not that bad. I just wanted them to realize that it's going to be tough. It's going to be rewarding more times than it'll be tough. I think that's what's going to keep you going forward.
A concept that many of the new graduates are already planning to do.
I think we have our responsibility to use our talents and our law degrees not only for our paying clients who turn to us, but also for those less fortunate.
And that's your plan?
It is my plan. It is my plan.
The clerk of Superior Court's office certifies and processes the results of the bar exam twice a year. And still to come, Fulton commissioners discuss the future of education in the county. It's a part of our district-by-district coverage next. Fulton joins forces with the City of Atlanta to present a film festival, and the future of education in the county is the focus of a roundtable discussion. Melissa Lewis has this week's district-by-district coverage.
We began with Chairman John Eves and Vice Chair Liz Hausman as they host two Fulton school officials for a conversation about education. The commissioners invited Interim Superintendent Kenneth Zeff and School Board Chair Linda McCain to the Fulton County Government Center. There, the group discussed potential partnerships and solutions to keep students on the right track.
The school system as a whole has been making some tremendous gains over the past several years. However, with the support of Fulton County, I think that we can go a little bit further. It's a win-win scenario. A good school system is a good Fulton County. So it was a great meeting today.
Well, it was a great opportunity to share with our school partners at Fulton County Schools some of the changes we're making to our grant program and talk about opportunities for collaboration as we work towards supplementing our youth in the areas that the county has done in the past.
The Fulton County school system is one of the largest and oldest school systems in the state. Over 96,000 students are enrolled in the 101 elementary, middle, high, and charter schools in the system. The District 5 Commission office is joining the City of Atlanta Mayor's Office of Film and Entertainment to host this year's Black History Film Festival. Last year, the event was hosted at the Wolf Creek Library. As a part of this year's event, high school students living in Fulton County can participate in an essay and film competition.
It's an opportunity for families and children to learn about Black history, history that brought us to where we are today in the United States.
Here are the details. Essays must be 1,500 words and typed, and the film submissions cannot be longer than an hour. All entries should be submitted to the District 5 YouTube URL or to email by January 29th. Fulton's Film Office is co-sponsoring the event. And finally, in District 6, a look at the brand new fire station in South Fulton.
3. Hey, it's open. Station's open. Let it through.
The 5,000 square foot facility features 2,000 square feet of living space for the 4-person crew and a 2-bay truck garage.
I'd like to say thank you to the Cedar Grove community. I'd like to say thank you to the members of the Fire Rescue Department and all the county staff who worked so hard for several years to bring this station, fire number 15, to this community.
We will be able to deliver fire EMS service. We'll be able to deliver code enforcement, fire inspections, investigations. This is an all hazards department. We will open it to the community so they can come in. This is a great day for the community.
We're really looking forward to great service. Fulton County has done a marvelous job getting this place up and going in almost seemed like record time. So we're really appreciative of that and just looking forward to welcoming the staff and the emergency workers here to our neighborhood.
Fire Station 15 is located at 6720 Cedar Grove Road.
Thank you very much, Melissa. And when we come back, addressing mental health in 2016. Stay with us. This first month of the year is also Mental Wellness Awareness Month. So we're going to take a closer look at mental illness in the county. Jennifer Bartle handles our Behavioral Health Division. Jennifer, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk simply now. What should residents be thinking about as it relates to mental health?
Mental wellness is something that affects all of us, and it's really our ability to manage in life, handle the stressors and the daily things that life throws at us in a way that, doesn't really knock us down. And so we can get up and we can go to work and we can raise our kids and do the things that we need to do to be productive in life.
And Jennifer, broadly, how can mental illness impact someone?
When someone struggles with a mental illness or what we call a mental health issue or concern, it can really get in the way of them doing the things that they enjoy. It can get in the way of them being successful in however they define that. So it's important for people to know what mental wealth is and what mental wellness is so that they'll know when they're struggling and they'll know when maybe they need to reach out and ask for some help.
And now let's talk about some of the signs and symptoms.
What it's important to notice is when someone's not enjoying things that they used to enjoy or isolating themselves, preferring to spend time alone when that's not typically who they are, or they're having a difficult time sleeping, falling asleep or staying asleep, or they're sleeping too much and not getting up, either overeating or undereating. And this is something that happens over a period of time. So it's not just the blues, but it's something that maybe 6 to 8 to 10 weeks.
And finally, Jennifer, please tell everyone about the mental health services available right here in Fulton County.
We have a variety of services available here in Fulton County. For children and adolescents, we have the Oak Hill Child, Adolescent and Family Center, and that's where any children under the age of 21 can come along with their family to get counseling services and see a psychiatrist. And then we have 3 adult centers located throughout metropolitan Atlanta where adults 21 and over can come and see a therapist as well as a psychiatrist.
Jennifer Bartle with the county's behavioral health team. Always great to see you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, if you have additional questions about the behavioral health services offered with the county, you can call 404-612-1211 and they can refer you to the center nearest you. One popular New Year's resolution for many is to reduce stress. So Fulton's health professionals offered its workforce some pretty unique tips to reduce tension. Musicians, dancers, and artists filled the Government Center atrium for the stress management event. The interactive program showed employees how to use what they called stress therapies to enjoy each moment. The Wellness Committee organized the event. One artist explained how when you sit down and create a drawing, you can relieve tension in the mind and body.
If you practice this, then what it does is it gives you an opportunity to quiet your mind. So you can either start your day with this or you can end your day with it. And each way would give you a little bit of a different kind of effect.
According to the Mayo Clinic, stress can cause head and body aches and lead to sleepless nights. Stress can also affect one's behavior and lead to under or overeating. While adults deal with stress in one way, children deal with stress in other ways, especially when they are being bullied. Public health educators say there are signs that teachers and parents can look for in children who are being bullied. A usually happy and social child who is suddenly withdrawn or a child whose grades are slipping are definitely warning signs. Educators say children who have a good network of friends and who communicate about the problem can lessen the chances of the bullying continuing.
Mentally, it can lead to depression or lower their self-esteem, possibly suicidal thoughts.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 1 in 4 students is bullied on a weekly basis. And when we come back, the art of creative conservation. Stay with us. The winners of this year's Water Resources Calendar contest can now see their works of art every month of the year. The Department of Water Resources hosted a reception in honor of all of the winners at the Fulton County Government Center. Commissioners also recognized them during a board meeting. For the past few years, students from kindergarten through 12th grade have submitted drawings that show water conservation and how it affects the environment. Top winners were selected to represent a month in the calendar, and the grand prize was put on the cover. A number of honorable mentions were also announced.
Pollution is not a good thing to do to water when, that's what you're going to be drinking from. You don't want to kill your resources.
I think it's important to say water because water is special. Without water, we couldn't survive, so let's keep it clean.
To get a copy of the calendar, you can contact the Water Resources Department. And finally, it's the Super Bowl of spelling bees at one Fulton County school, and FGTV once again got in on the act.
Your word is zinger.
Zinger, Z-I-N-G-E-R, zinger.
That is correct.
Renaissance Middle School invited our team to come back this year to take part in another school spelling bee. Students from 6th, 7th, and 8th grades battled it out with plenty of tough words like plethora and sedimentary. But the winning word for this year?
Your word is zealous.
Zealous. Z-E-A-L-O-U-S. Zealous.
Number 12, that is correct.
I was in the spelling bee on 6th grade and 7th grade, and I was very excited when I won because you said number 12 and you paused and you said that was correct, and I was shocked.
It takes the teachers and the parents working together along with the student, basically just reviewing and reminding them constantly to study, study, study.
The Renaissance Middle School contestants in Fairburn all won the spelling bee contest in their homerooms. The school champion now goes on to the Fulton County Bee. Always a great time. Thank you so much for having us again. Now, before we go, we do want to remind you that we want to connect again with you this year online. So check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and of course, anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County. Happy New Year, everyone.